All right, so hi, Precious. How's it going?
It's going well.
Very well. I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. Welcome to the NXT GEN Podcast. My name is Dorian, the host for today. And first things first, can you just introduce yourself and your business so people can get familiar with you?
Yes, I can. Have you ever met a full-figure diva who's taken the business world by storm in one big? Well, now you have. My name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group. I'm a full-figure diva, plus-size fashionista who is a 13-time national elevator pitch champion, five-time #1 best-selling author. I am a top Fortune 100 corporate sales trainer. I'm also known as being a bad bitch with the power of pitch and the ultimate rainmaker. So in my career, I've been a former attorney turned serial entrepreneur who's done all of these amazing things. But how did it start? Through the power of the perfect pitch. So that is me, Precious Williams in a nutshell, CEO, Perfect Pitch Group.
I understand it now. That it all makes sense now. It's like I read as much as I can, do my research for the interview, but I mean that just sold it. That was the perfect pitch. It all makes sense now to me. That was beautiful. That was perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, starting off, well, that was a lot to take in. That was fantastic. I'm still like in awe. That was amazing. But can you give us sort of, the quick origin of the Perfect Pitch Group? Was there any like story or experience that inspired this business?
Of course. So I was a disgruntled attorney who was just, I'm tired of this. I'm a litigator, so I'm used to being in a courtroom, but I thought, I don't want to do this for 40 years. And yes, I spent a lot of time in school. And yes, I was on full scholarships. And yes, I did all those amazing things. I left my ex-fiance, did not know I was going to meet an amazing man who would change my life. I was 327 pounds, which tells you the depths of grief that I was in. And when I say he changed my life, he was a very famous Hollywood actor. We went on a date just because I put an ad on the Craigslist from 2010, not 2025, 2010. It's called Two to Tango. And from the moment we met, it was magical. And he kept wanting to date me, and that sounds so strange. Why would you want a 327-pound woman? He's like, she's different. She's wonderful. And from there, I thought, if anything were to pop off in that way, I need to be ready. So went to Victoria's Secret, went to all of these lingerie boutiques, and you can imagine they have nothing for a size 28 woman. So I said, well, why don't we create it? Curvy Girls Lingerie. I thought it was a great idea. My family and friends turned it down, like didn't want to invest, because you always hear, oh, family and friends are going to invest. I'm first generation, but okay. Nobody wanted to invest, so I took a chance, went to an event I couldn't afford, pitched to the producers of MSNBC. That pitch got me on national television. My second pitch, I walked away with $500,000 in 54 seconds. I was told to enter pitch competitions. Out of 14 tries, I won 13 times. So then people were like, oh, I want to pitch like the way she does. She doesn't sound like my name is this, da. She's so different. So I started a beta with 10 people who wanted to work with me, and they all took first place. I can teach it. I can win. I can teach. So I started Perfect Pitches by Precious, which then became the Perfect Pitch Group 2 years ago. So that's how it started. No, I didn't know I had a gift for pitching. I've been speaking for 30 years, but pitching is a totally different thing. And if it wasn't because some people told me no, everybody told me no, or that I was too fat, too black, no Ivy League degree, I wanted to show, oh, that's what it takes to be successful. Where did they get a load of me? That's how I started.
I love it. And you kind of answered my next question already. This is how I can tell it's going to be a good interview, is when you already start knocking off the stuff.
You did with a pro?
I'm not shocked. I am not shocked. But you switched from Perfect Pitch Precious to Perfect Pitch Group. What was the intentionality behind the name change?
Well, we were working, so Perfect Pitches by Precious was really teaching individuals and small businesses how to bait, attract, and close with ease. When big tech companies and financial services companies and real estate companies started coming to me to hire me for retreats or training, I realized our audience had definitely changed. Somehow, I caught their attention. So Perfect Pitches by Precious sounds like one person, and it was. Perfect Pitch Group is not one person. We have a whole team behind me, which shows that when you're growing a company, you can only do so much by yourself. And also, when you're working with big companies, they expect more. They expect the absolute best in systems and processes and all of that. So it took time to get all of that together. I started a Perfect Pitch Academy because I want the next generation of pitch masters to come. I've never been taught how to pitch in my life. I've never been taught how to speak in my life. So I learned this in the trenches, but what I teach is applicable to companies, corporations, foundations, nonprofit, private associations, individuals too. But it was definitely a way of positioning ourselves. Since the big ones were coming, let's meet you.
And, as you said in your own words, the trenches, what did you learn when you were at, your lowest lows, the absolute bottom, and how did you translate that and take it into the success, and how do you sort of, articulate that in ways that most people can understand? Because, not everyone's been there, but you still use it to sort of inspire and create these perfect pitches.
Well, I use my story to inspire because we have way too many people who spend all day looking at celebrities and influencers and talking about how great they are. And I'm like, but what about you? What if you were a celebrity and influencer of your own brand? I'm 46 years old. I'm supposed to be put out to pasture, to die, and I'm undateable. I'm all these things that you put around women in their 40s or people who are of a certain age. And I'm gonna show, oh no. It was in the trenches that I realized that you have to be bold when you're pitching, that you have to do the unexpected. So I addressed, even when I was on Shark Tank, can you imagine a 327-pound woman walking into that tank, facing off with each and every one of the sharks with no fear? Because I've won 13 national titles. I have been asked every question you can think of. And I wanted to prove, if you think I'm gonna talk about food, I'm gonna talk about how I'm gonna take your man, your woman, and your dog Toto too, with this lingerie. I'm not gonna come in with a standard stale pitch. That is why the producers chose me. 7 of my clients had already successfully appeared. So it's only a matter of time before the name Precious Williams would hit them. In the trenches is when I also learned it's not bragging if it's true. We are so used to everyone else who we can't touch being able to talk about the wonderful things that they have done. So have I. If I allow what people think of me when I'm walking down the street, oh, high school graduate, multiple baby daddies, that's the story, or stereotypical story. That's not my story. I have no children. I'm not married. I live in New York City, the highest floor in my building. I came from poverty. I came from lack. But I had this dream to make it big in New York City, and I made it happen. Who knew it would happen through pitching? Another thing is a standard pitch is like being treated like average, random, and ordinary. If you want to attract bigger, better, the type of ideal clients and customers, something in you has to change to meet what they're looking for. So a pitch to me you can never use one pitch for everything. There's no way. Not when you have an elevator pitch, a media pitch, an investor pitch, a sales pitch, a speaker pitch, an interview pitch. Those are 6 different types of pitches. Most people only know 1 or 2. I'm gifted in all 6 and utilize that with my clients and customers. I've written books on it. I've created digital products around it because so many people are expecting the standard to walk in until they meet me.
I love it. And you talked about this turning point, and you talk about this huge transformation that you had, but can you talk about the difficulty in that mental choice to sort of take that leap of faith into, not only making drastic lifestyle changes, but also, to go out and do these pitch competitions, to go out and start your own business and to compete in all these, these crazy pitch competitions. But can you talk about sort of the fear and the unknowing when it comes to starting your own, faith in yourself?
I don't think that fear ever goes away. Yes, I can talk about it. I don't think that fear ever goes away. When I started, it wasn't just people told me I was too fat, too black, and no Ivy League degree. There was no faith in me. It was no faith that I could go toe-to-toe with people who came from money, who had all the connections. I didn't grow up and have that. I fought my way. And so every time I took that stage, it was me against the world. And I knew that they would look at my weight and say, she doesn't belong here. She's gonna talk about food. So what was I gonna do to change the narrative? I had to show up in clothes that commanded attention. that show what a full-figured diva and a plus-size fashionista really looks like. I had to go against the grain because I didn't feel I had a choice. If I met them the way they thought I would meet them, I wouldn't win. But if I took a chance on myself, like I always have since I was a little girl in the hood of St. Louis, I had a fighting chance to change the narrative of what success can look like. I had no money when I was an attorney. I used up all my money. And then I asked my family and friends and they said no. And for most people, that would stop them. For me, it was like, oh, that's a challenge. Oh, y'all think I can't do it? Watch me walk into these rooms. Watch me do these things. And what I also realized in pitching is it's not the money that's the most important thing. It's the relationships. So you can imagine when I would walk into these rooms and I would dazzle them with my pitch, whether it was 60 seconds, whether it was 93 minutes, 5 minutes, I've won the Audience Choice Award and the grand prize. So that's amazing. And so you would think that fear is gone. It's not. I have launched digital products. I have had live engagements. I am an international keynote. There are things that can go up and down. You think about the economy. There's so much that impacts business owners. I don't stop launching. I don't stop putting myself out there. But I recognize that if I give up, so many people who've been watching will think it can't be done. So to meet that challenge, every day is like fear factor. I choose to stay focused. And pitching is not dead. If you see a commercial, what you're saying, when you're on your phone and scrolling, there'll be the commercials that start, it's not over. It might change a little bit, but pitching's not dead. Pitching is not dead. The biggest companies use it. The smallest companies need to, and you need to package, position, and pitch yourself. And that's how you become a rainmaker in sales.
Wow, I'm like blown away by that. I mean, thank you so much for being honest, and just talking about.
Come on now.
Of course you will be, but I still have to share my appreciation for that because it's not every day I get people, on the podcast that are willing to be so open with, the difficulties and you talk about how, investing all your money into yourself and taking that.
Negative $400 when I made that pitch to the producers of MSNBC. Negative. I was 327 with a full bladder. And I'm thinking, this is my Hail Mary. Think about, and I always tell people, I'm the fourth quarter quarterback. Give me the ball, I'm running. I don't care what nobody says. If we really are being honest, when I came on today, I told y'all that there was a signal problem on the subway. Now, I left at a certain time to be here on time. But as a professional, I show up regardless. And that is something that's a mark of great entrepreneurship. A lot can happen. I've lost family members, and I still had to show up, learning that information. And my job is to not bring that to the table. My job is to teach, to train, to speak, to inspire, to get them to take action, small action, massive action, because that's what we have to do each and every day. And I'm the killer pitch master, and I slay all competition with a killer pitch, regardless.
So talk to me about, perfect pitch group. I keep wanting to say pitch perfect. Do people ever say that to you? Because
they do. Listen, you in the same ballpark. We good.
It pissed me off because I was like, every time I would be Googling to do the research for this, and I'd mess it up. I'm like, why am I not finding it? Oh, because I'm doing it wrong. But that's just me. So talk to me about Perfect Pitch Group and, sort of break down all the services that you provide now, opposed to especially when you just started out.
Okay, so the difference between Perfect Pitch Group was really started because we had corporate prospects, and I just did not see that coming. And so with that, it was like, well, what do they seek? And they wanted enterprise sales training. Ask me, did I know what that meant?
Did you know what that meant?
No. But I knew how to create sales pitches. It's just an elevated version because they're selling these products and services for massive amounts of money. And here I am. Let's talk about fear. I'm scared. Is my skin color going to be the barrier? Is the fact that I'm a woman? Is the fact that I'm loud? I'm like Miley Cyrus. I'm a wrecking ball. You don't hire me because you're traditional cookie cutter. And so the more I had to lean more into, I do have a gift. This is transferable. She's on a bigger level. So the internal work and then understanding, no, I can do this. and demonstrate it. So we created Rainmaking 101 for law firms, Rainmaking 101 for financial services companies, Rainmaking 101 for real estate companies, and then create a series of trainings, 12 each, and they can pick from those which they would like me to bring, whether it's on a retreat, whether it's, via Zoom, whether it's something that they can like purchase off the shelf, create those things. And that was a great challenge for me. I said, oh, I love this. Not only that, I was asked to do keynotes globally. What? Writing my books. That opened up doors because all 5 of my books are business books, which means businesses bought my books in bulk. So we have live training. We have live people. Companies can fly me in to do trainings live, or we can do it virtually, or it can be off the shelf. Second thing that we offer are our digital products, the Ultimate Pitch Bundle. So let's say individuals or maybe companies want 6 hours worth of training and see the different ways that they can utilize 6 forms of pitching, or how do you pitch with confidence? How do you do this? How do you do that? Then we created our Pitching for Profit masterclasses. How do you get them to say yes? Okay, once they said yes once, how do you get them to say yes repeatedly? So that's 3 hours and 3 hours. Then I started getting opportunities for people who were saying, hey, we have some organizations that want to know, how do we become speakers? Ding, ding, ding. By that point, I've been speaking for 28 years. So we created the Rainmaking Speaking and Branding Accelerator. So you work one-on-one with me and become a Rainmaking speaker, because my biggest thing is most people's foundations are off. They're going to all these coaches and things like that, but the coach wants you to be them. I don't. I want you to be the best version of you. So let's get that foundation together. Let's incorporate packaging, positioning, and pitching, and let's get your funnels up. We want people to be contacting you repeatedly. And once I'm gone, you're going to be okay. I don't need you forever. Then we also created the Rainmaking Speaking Triple Threat Bundle. So we created the 39-page book. And then we have our Rainmaking Speaker Perfect Pitch Bundle, and then the Speaker One and Speaker Reels creation. And then we have other things that we've created. Another thing I'm very, very proud of, that's going to seem off, but not really, is I call it the 40-year plus glow up. I'm 46 years old. I'm very proud that this is the best stage of my life ever. And I want other women, once they hit this age, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, this is the best time of our life. But if you let society dictate it, you're going to hate this chapter. I feel the most beautiful, the most confident. When I walk into a room, you're going to know it. I don't have to say any words. But I want to show other women that it is possible at this time. Stop worrying about what the young women are going to do. They're going to make the same mistakes as us. So anyway, those are what I have in my arsenal for companies, corporations, foundations, nonprofits, and private associations, and also for our regular customers. We have our books, and then we have some digital products specifically for them because they may not have it in their budget to have a one-on-one with me or VIP day.
And a constant theme that we've been having in the past few weeks on this podcast is representation.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of that within self-business. A lot of the people that I've been interviewing with the past few weeks have been Black women or basically anyone from a misrepresented community or underrepresented rather. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about the importance of that and how often you find yourself reflecting on not only the presence of your business and the importance of that, but the presence of you as the business leader and the forefront of your own business?
Last week was one of the greatest weeks I've ever had in my life. I understand I'm Black on both sides, no Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs. I understand all of that. And I've been in movies and documentaries around the world. I have great corporate clients. I am often one of very few or the only. When I walk into the room, I am not struck by how a lot of people look nothing like me, because I know that I have a dual role: to train, to teach, to speak, to inspire, all of that, but also to open the door to others to see what's possible. I dress very colorfully and bright. I want everything about me to be bold, because it takes a lot of boldness to enter spaces that years ago wouldn't have accepted or needed you to fit into a certain box. So I don't wear black or navy blue, and that was my lawyer, Precious. As Precious Williams, the CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group, I'm colorful, I'm bright, I have audacity, I say things, because you're not hiring traditional or cookie cutter. You want someone with a vision, someone who can take it from vision to execution in that same space. So I'm not here to give you what everybody else would give you. I'm gonna give you a different framework, a different viewpoint, a fresh perspective. And I love that when I take pictures, or people taking pictures, or they're videotaping me, and they're of all different hues, they're seeing something they've never seen before. I'm not the entertainer. I am not the rapper. I'm not the singer or the dancer. Speaking and pitching is how I rose from nothing. And even when people come from money or connections, there's still something in me they see that they may not have, and they want it. So when I walk into those spaces, I'm gonna give you the full meal deal. I'm gonna give you a snack and a soda on the side. Let's get it. So for me, it is an honor to walk into spaces and show them I'm not your average. I'm not boring. I am fully who I am. I'm confident. And you can't knock me off. You can't knock the crown off of my head. I hope you have your own crown. I'm not here to knock it off of yours either. But it can be done. And I don't know if you notice, I'm chocolate, like for real. Like there's no ambiguity about me. Full figure diva, but I'm not 327 anymore. I'm a lot smaller than that today. But even when I was that size, I never allowed people to see that they hurt me. I just got bolder. I got grittier. And I came to win. And also there are a lot of sheroes who never got their due. I carry them with me. My grandmother, 8th grade education. I have a law degree. There's so many women who look at me and are thankful that I'm around. White, Black, Asian, Pacific Islander, non-binary, non-gender conforming, all of that. I represent us all. But make no mistake, I'm still Black on both sides. No Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs.
And you say these heroes. Do you want to just say some names? I mean, anyone who's listening wants to do a quick Google search. I feel like just giving them the space for anyone who's listening.
Yes. Here's some of my heroes. My grandmother, Precious Dolores Williams, born 1933, got her wings in 2000 when I was a junior at Spelman College. Kelly Charles Collins, speaker moguls. Keisha Hickson, multiple myeloma survivor and speaker. Gosh, there's so many women that just passed through my head just like that. The New York Women's Chamber of Commerce under Quenya Abro.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I mean, I just think it's important every now and then. I think everyone just needs to reflect more on that and take the time in the space, because we're living in such a crazy, busy world where we barely have time for ourselves. But I think taking the time to, verbally acknowledge or do actions to, appreciate our heroes is really important.
I think the fact that you said that is Dr. Shekinah Williams, Babson College. She's over the Center for Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership. Dr. Shekinah Williams.
I knew it would come to you.
I'm looking at her face in my mind. Yes.
I hate when that happens, but that's what happens when we do it live. Well, thank you so much for that. And I guess it feels like a crazy leap to go from such an emotional thing to talk about advertising, but here I am because it's on my question list. And right. Advertising is a huge part of your business. And when I clicked on your website for the first time to look and do my research, I was blown away. It's one of my favorite websites that I've ever been on. I mean, it's so personable, and it feels like I'm basically having a conversation. I'm learning so much about you and about the Perfect Pitch Group just by reading a website, which is crazy to me because that just feels so the antithesis of what these big businesses are doing these days. But it's loud, and I love the colors on it. So can you just talk about the importance of advertising and how you began advertising when you were first pitching yourself and first letting yourself be known versus now, how are you advertising yourself as a huge business person in the world?
Well, thank you for saying huge business person. It's funny. When I started, I didn't have it. So what could I do? But I understood that I didn't have to have a large PR company. I could put myself out there. So what I started doing is I would write to journalists, and I would throw a question out there that I knew would take them by surprise. Instead of, my name is this, put me on, whatever. So that helped me, and I would get on these publications or in these media places, and it wasn't something I paid for. It was truly baiting them, attracting them, and closing them for their audience. As I have grown, yes, I have tried, Facebook ads and other things. But the greatest way, and it's not going to make any sense, but my greatest way of getting hired, book referred, invested in is speaking. It just is. When people hear me speak, it's different. It's one of those things of, I want her because I like her already. The way she came in, and they can hear there's a professional in there. It's not like, oh, she's just a show. No, there's a training involved. There is something I'm imparting. So when we did Facebook ads, I never felt like they got anywhere. I never felt like they attracted. So in order to build community, I started, I work with, Thinkific, and we were launching digital products on there. And it just so happens that I do have a big community. There are people that are stark raving fans of mine. No matter what I put out there, they own it like white on rice. And I thank God for that. I'm so thankful. Another thing is, who are the people in your network to amplify that message? And so that's what we've been doing. So it's not like I have a advertising thing. It's more marketing. It's more marketing than anything. It's not so much advertising. I do think it's time for us to do that, though. I do. But what I will caution business owners is not to go broke trying to advertise when the kinks haven't been ironed out. Algorithms can change at any given time. And if someone has a choice between someone who has a lot of money to spend on something and someone who probably has $100 a month, I don't see how that works. So what else can we do? That's the power of pitching. That's the power of putting things. If you're posting, it can't just be, oh, I'm so great. Show them. So when I'm at events and people talk about what they're speaking, I say, who you see that keynote? That's a keynote. That's my name. That's my billboard. That's all it is. Because it shows I'm not talking a good game. Another thing that I think is important is address the questions that are always out there in your industry. Address them. Make a video on them. Make a video. Like, you can probably notice my biggest audience is on LinkedIn. 140,000. 89,000 followers. And they're not bots. How did I do that? That's pitching. That's organic. It's saying the things that people are afraid to say. I say them in a way that's professional, but it also, that constant newsletter coming out once a week or every couple of weeks. They anticipate it. They're excited, and I'm not always selling. I'm really not. Because sometimes I just want people to see me. And then if you're ready, come check me. But every day can't be buy my stuff. It's like, if I'm a thought leader, let me give you some thoughts. Let me show you why I'm the best in the world at what I do. And I don't have to be the most popular to secure contracts, to get booked and paid as a speaker. You don't. But if in your niche, make yourself so wanted, so sought after. You don't have to be the most popular to be paid.
So next, we're moving into our Next Gen 5 essential tips. Normally I ask, what are the 5 top tips for starting a business? But I feel like this would be a golden opportunity to ask you, what are your top 5 tips for pitching yourself? For all the young people out there who are interested in entrepreneurship, how can they pitch themselves? 5 quick tips.
Okay, 5 quick tips. Number 1, start off with a question, a startling statistic, or a quote to kick off your pitch. Number 2, your name and the name of your company won't matter until you make them matter, which is why you start off with a question, startling statistic, or a quote, which interrupts the what? The pattern of boring. 2, you heard what I said. Number 3, what is the challenge or problem in your target market's words, not yours, so they know you're talking to them. Number 4, going back to number 3, don't offer a solution if you haven't really addressed what the problem is in their words. And number 5, set the scene in the audience's mind and take them there. You might wonder, what does that mean? So when people talk about pitching, they give you your name of company, who you serve, some secret sauce, Call to action. That's the basics. What if you reversed order? What if you edited in a question at the beginning? It's like, ooh, they got to drop the phone because they're like, oh, she started with her name. What's going on? Then it's, ooh, setting the scene. When I was on Shark Tank, that was Valentine's Day. Ooh, Valentine's Day, but you weigh over 200 pounds. What? Now they glued in. And then you talk about 40 million women size 14 or larger in the United States, just like me, and we all want pretty underwear. What? They all want pretty underwear. What? And now we created it. We are your solution. Coming through, full-figure diva and a plus-size fashionista. And finally, when you think about all that, how you close is so important. So even when I was on Shark Tank, I said, Sharks, you've heard the rest. Now you've heard the best. My name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of Curvy Girls Lingerie, the ultimate shopping experience for full-figure divas and what? Plus-size fashionistas. Sharks, you've been served. They know what to do. Like, what just happened? And then I said, oh, but wait, there's more. Okay, ladies, now let's get information. Those full-figure divas came through that door. I said, oh, the element of surprise. A killer pitch, you know what to have in it and what to keep out so that the questions, you really kill the questions.
Love it. So, at this point, we've looked at the humble beginnings of Precious Williams and the Perfect Pitch Group. We've looked at modern and current business. Now, looking into the future, where do you see the Perfect Pitch Group in the next, 5, 10, 15, etc. years?
I see the Perfect Pitch Group. I even see the name changing over maybe once or twice more as we scale and grow even more. I want to be the #1 speech communication solutions company in the world. Period. I also would love to create a media empire around the middle age or the experience age. And we spend so much time talking about youth and 40 under 40. I've never had any of that. So I can only be 50 under 50 or something like that. But this is a great time and experience should still count. And as great as AI or all these technological tools are, can we at least acknowledge people still need to meet in person? People still need to date in person. There's a reason why conferences and stuff, people want to flock to a lot of them because they're tired of being at home. Make it worth their while. So pitch big, pitch bad, and pitch gold.
Amazing. And are there any new, products or projects that you're currently working on that you can give us a little teaser or spoiler into, or any new markets or industries that you're excited to expand into?
For rainmaking, for companies, we're about to unleash some other off-the-shelf things that they can take, different trainings that are within the rainmaking wheelhouse: sales, business development, client acquisition. Okay. And then for our raving fans and customers, get ready. We got something good coming for you in fall 2025.
Exciting. I like the little teaser at the end. I like that. Very exciting. And lastly, what is your ultimate vision for your brand and your journey? I mean, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind with the Perfect Pitch Group?
The legacy I want to leave behind with the Perfect Pitch Group is to pitch bold, profit gold. I don't think pitches will ever go away. I don't think commercials will ever go away. They might change form, but I don't think it's going to stop. Another legacy I want to leave is you can be the celebrity of your own brand and be the ultimate influencer that makes brands come to you at whatever age that you are. And so if there's any cosmetics companies or clothing companies that would like me to be a brand ambassador and want to send me a contract, I'm not going to turn you down. And finally, when I was growing up, we always used to hear about Oprah and certain people that seem so untouchable. And I respect that. I want to count myself as among the greats too. And that it could be done, whether you came from something or nothing. It's still possible here to do it. But you got to put in that work. And you've got to get in the right rooms. And a lot of us have gifts that won't manifest until there's a detour. And it will unlock everything. If I had gotten married, I would not be here. But breaking up that relationship introduced me to that man who inspired so much, who died, and I'm still here, pushing forward and showing women, men, and everyone, you can get to the top. You just got to have the right people. You got to have the right content and messaging behind you. And there's something about you worth paying for. You are worthy to be chosen.
And here we are, the final question. But what is your all-time favorite moment or most gratifying moment from your career thus far?
One truly was last week, the Small Business Expo.
Yeah, I know. I'm really.
When I tell you to watch all of those people, like it was so hard to even walk through the crowd because of baby strollers. Things you don't even think would be. Everybody was there. Shark Tank will always rank up there because I remember looking at the sharks in their eyes and letting them know, I'm not afraid. Hit me with your best shot, Pat Benatar. Third, I've been clean and sober from alcohol over 8 years. 8 years past my suicide attempt. So personally, I'm so proud that I don't claim addiction and that I have the right people around me. I have the right opportunities. And I keep putting myself out there daily. So personally, I'm grateful that I passed a lot of things that would hold people back and that I have some of the greatest moments that are captured on camera.
Well, congratulations, of course, to all of that. All those are incredible accomplishments. And thank you so much, just for being here with us today and for taking the time to talk with us today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and wish you continued success in all endeavors of life, both personal and business related.
Thank you so much.